This weekend, I've done a couple of things, but one of the things I have done and really, really worked very steadily and ambitiously at is trying to calculate the dates that the dwarf planets have entered and exited certain signs. So, I don't know, I'll get into it. But the dates are from 1900 all the way up to now. And whenever they leave the current sign that they are in. So I'm going to begin with I'm going to go from the most inward to the furthest outward. So I'm going to talk about Uranus first of all. So I'm going to find Uranus here. So Uranus in Capricorn. So Uranus in the sign of Capricorn was from December 20th, 1904 through January 30th, 1912. Uranus in Aquarius from January the 31st, 1912, all the way up until January 21st, 1920. Uranus in Pisces, January 22nd, 1920 through January 12th, 1928. Uranus in Aries, January 13th, 1928 through March 27th, 1935. Uranus in Taurus, March 28th, 1935 through May 14th, 1942. Uranus in Gemini, May 15th, 1942 through June 9th, 1949. Uranus in Cancer, that would be from June 10th, 1949 through June 9th, 1956. Uranus in Leo, June 10th, 1956 through August 9th, 1962. Uranus in Virgo, August 10th, 1962 through September the 27th, 1968. Uranus in Libra, September the 28th, 1968 through November 20th, 1974. Uranus in Scorpio, November 21st through November 21st, 1974 through February 16th, 1981. Uranus in Sagittarius, from February 17th, 1981 through February 14th, 1988. Uranus in Capricorn, that would be from February 15th, 1988 through March 31st, 1995. Uranus in Aquarius, that would be from April 1st, 1995 through March 9th, 2003. Uranus in Pisces, where it was when I was born. So March 10th, 2003 through May 27th, 2010. And Uranus in Aries, that would be May 28th, 2010 through May 14th, 2018. Uranus in Taurus, which is where it's in now. May 15th, 2018, the lunar nodes are, they were in the same place as they were on May 15th, 1981. So May 15th, 2018, they have an 8 and a 1 in there. So Uranus changed signs into Taurus, and we've been seeing a lot of growth and, shifting values, changing the food supply, cryptocurrencies, all these types of things. So May 15th, 2018, and then it's going to move into Gemini on July 7th, 2025. Now I'm going to talk about Neptune. North node was in Leo, south node was in Aquarius. In the years 1981 and 2018, beginning in August, somewhere around that time in 2017. Just as a clarification. Now I'm going to talk about Neptune. So, Neptune moved into Cancer May 21st, 1902. Neptune, so Uranus is a cycle of 7 years in a sign. Neptune has a cycle of 14 years. Pluto has a cycle of 16 years. So Neptune is double the amount of time that Uranus spends in a sign. So Neptune in Cancer, May 21st, 1902 through July 18th, 1915. The day after, on the 19th of July, 1915, Neptune moved into Leo. And it stayed there up until September 20th, 1928. So when the autumn equinox started in 1928, Neptune moved into Virgo. So from September 21st, 1928 through October the 2nd, 1942. That was that period where Neptune was in Virgo. And then Neptune moved into Libra the day after on October 3rd, 1942. And it stayed there up until October the 18th, 1956. So Neptune was in Scorpio from October 19th, 1956 through January the 3rd, 1970. Neptune was in Sagittarius from January 4th, 1970 through January 17th, 1984. So then Neptune moved into Capricorn the day after. So January 18th, 1984 through January 27th, 1998. Neptune was in Capricorn. January 28th, 1998 through April 3rd, 2011, Neptune was in Aquarius. And then the day after, on April 4th, 2011, Neptune was in Pisces. And then it stayed there. It's going to stay there because Neptune's currently in Pisces. It still has 2 more full years. So 2023, 2024 before 2025 on March 30th when it moves out of Pisces and into Aries. The 29th of March, 2025 being the last day for Neptune in Pisces for the world. So now I'm going to talk about Pluto now. So Pluto is going to be, again, this is going to take a long time, longer than any other planet. So let's talk about Pluto next. Pluto. So let's begin. So Pluto in Cancer. So Pluto in Cancer. It was in Cancer from July 9th, 1913 through October the 5th, 1937. So, transforming families and emotions and all those things related to Cancer. Then, on October 6th, 1937, Pluto moved into Leo, and it stayed there up until October 20th, 1956. Pluto moved into Virgo on the 21st of October, 1956, and then it stayed there up until October the 4th, 1971. The day after, on the 5th of October of that year, Pluto moved into Libra. And so Pluto moved, so it was October 5th, 1971 through November the 4th, 1983. And then Pluto was in Scorpio, its ruling sign. From November the 5th, it entered there during the season of Scorpio, when the sun was in Scorpio. So November 5th, 1983, through November the 9th, 1995. Then Pluto was in Sagittarius from November 10th, 1995 through November the 24th, 2008, when we had the global financial crisis, and then that sort of gave way to Pluto in Capricorn, where it is right now. And it is really pressing on the 28th degree now, so it's reaching the end of Capricorn. It's going to leave the sign. I'm filming this in 2022, so it's going to leave the sign on March 23rd, 2023. And it's going to enter Aquarius. It's going to go in there for a little bit. It's going to then retrograde back into Capricorn. And then, so Pluto entered Capricorn November 25th, 2008. It stayed there from 2008 all the way through 2020, and then it's there more, stayed there more, and then it is officially going to exit Capricorn on January 16th, 2024. January 15th, 2024 is the last official day for Pluto in Capricorn before we have a parent generational change. So, and then the last thing is I have been also doing some recent dates for Saturn, so let's do a little bonus and take a look at that. Now, Saturn moves every 2.5 years. So I started it, as close, I started it in, just the beginning of the zodiac. So this is going to be through the whole zodiac now. So from Aries to Pisces. So it entered Aries April 7th, 1996. And then it stayed in Aries June 8th, 1998. Saturn then moved into Taurus on June 9th, 1998. And then it stayed there on August, up until August 9th, 2000, in the year 2000, the millennial. So then it changed signs into Gemini August 10th, 2000, up until June 3rd, 2003. So then Saturn was in Cancer June 4th, 2003 through July 15th, 2005. Saturn was in Leo July 16th, 2005 through September the 1st, 2007. Then it moved into Virgo September 2nd, 2007. Then, a couple years later, the date was October 29th, 2009. Saturn, that was the last official day for Saturn in Virgo. Right before Halloween in 2009, Saturn moved into Libra, so the day before Halloween, October 30th. Then it stayed there up until 2012 with some retrograde, a lot of retrograde things going on. So on October 6th, 2012, Saturn then changed signs. So it moved into Scorpio. And then, so from 2012 through 2014, December 23rd, 2014, Saturn was in Scorpio. On Christmas Eve of 2014, Saturn moved into Sagittarius, and it stayed there up until December the 19th, 2017. Saturn was in Capricorn, moved there from December 20th, 2017, stayed there up until December 16th, 2020, and then it moved into Aquarius just 5 days before, 4 days before the great Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. So it moved there from December 17th, 2020, and then on March 6th, 2023, on March 7th, 2023, Saturn is going to move into Pisces, so it's going to change signs next year. If you're watching this now. So, March 7th, 2023, Saturn will move into Pisces, and it will stay there up until February 13th, 2026, and that is the whole entire zodiac. So I didn't go over all the Saturn cycles, but there's just so many because Saturn moves quicker than all the others. Thank you for tuning in. Please like this video, share it, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell.